I've got three tales to talk about today. The first one being about my recent experience with the NHS and why I think they're trying to off me. The second one is an update on sales progress, how we're managing to clear out the house. And the last one is a little bit of a tale, a bit of On's sabbatical at work and the progress that we're making there. So I'll timestamp these, I'll put the details up here and you can jump between. The last couple of days have been quite long videos and also quite a lot for me to talk about and share. So today is more just a bit of an update. I recognise that in following this channel, there's an overarching arc about the exit of the UK and how we're going about that and the progress of it and sharing that with you. And then in between all of that, there's like individual videos that relate to things like the HMRC and the BBC. So this video is likely to appeal to those who have recently told me that you've been following from the very beginning and you're kind of watching it like a TV series. So this is more aimed at you to bring you up to speed. So let me dive into the story of the NHS. As many of you will know, I've had some various health issues, talked about this over the last couple of videos, but one that's been plaguing me recently is that I discovered that I had 4 kidney stones. Now, over the last couple of months, I've managed to pass 2 of those. They were joined together, and through a number of painful hours, eventually I managed to excrete it, and it's been tested. It's oxalate, which is like salts. So my lemon water will probably help prevent that the next time somewhere down the line. But I have 2 more stones left over, and they're in my kidney, they're in my left kidney. They're not causing me any pain or any discomfort whatsoever, but the hospital would like to treat it. I got a telephone call on the 2nd of April from Northampton Hospital from my local doctor, and that was to tell me that I still had these 2 stones and they wanted to treat them. So at that point he said to me, look, we're aware of these stones. We think we can treat them with like an ultrasound that will try and shatter them, so a non-invasive surgery. This ultrasound will try and break them into crumbs and then you'll be able to pee it out effectively, is kind of the plan behind it. Now, on that same telephone call on the 2nd of April, he said to me, we've noticed that you have some lesions or cysts, sorry, not lesions, cysts. We see that you have some cysts on your kidney. Now, they don't look cancerous, we're not concerned of them, but we've seen them and it's not uncommon, but we're just making you aware, right? So I thought, okay, I'll see, I'll live with that for now. Thanks for the info. Now, on the 3rd of April, Yvonne and I flew to Lanzarote for a month, having had that call. So it was kind of sitting in my mind a little bit whilst I was away. And I'm expecting a letter to go for this appointment. So I know I can't do anything about it. I'm out of the country and I'll just have to hope that the appointment is after we arrive home. Now, whilst I was away, I had a telephone call from the hospital where I missed the call. They left a message saying, please call us back. I called them back the same day and nobody at the hospital knew anything about what I was calling for. They didn't know who I was. They didn't have any information. They couldn't see anything on the system about why I would need to call back or why anybody was calling. So I thought, well, there's nothing I can do about it now. I arrived back home, what was that? I think the 29th we flew back home. And I discovered these 3 letters that I had received, right? So the first one was from the doctor that I'd spoken to before I went out. And it was to tell me that I was to come for an appointment for this non-invasive surgery on the 30th of May. And I thought, okay, well, that's fine, I'll deal with it. This is the appointment, I'll need to prepare for that point. So I was expecting to go to the hospital on the 30th of May and have this sound treatment. I then received another letter, which was to tell me that that appointment on the 30th was now cancelled. No other information, just cancelled, we'll get back to you. So I thought, okay, well, that's the appointment on the 30th gone. And then I received a 3rd letter which said, we need to urgently see you on the 14th of May. Did I say April on that? I meant May, so 30th of May, if I made a mistake there. But this letter now says, we want to see you on the 14th of May. So I thought, okay, and it simply says on it, please come for an appointment, you'll see the doctor, and it doesn't give any other information. So having come back from Lanzarote until yesterday, I've honestly sat just with a stress in the back of my mind thinking about what this might mean. Guy opening the gate behind me there, if you can see him. I thought, okay, well, I just need to deal with this. So I went yesterday to the appointment, totally nervous, right? Because all I can think about is cancer, cysts on my kidneys. Have they discovered something? Is this a bigger deal? And I get to the appointment yesterday. It's 50 minutes late to get into the actual appointment. It was at 3:40. I was almost closer to 5 p.m. by the time the doctor actually came into the room. He came in and he said, yeah, we wanted to talk to you about this ultrasound. I said, yeah, I'm aware, here's the letters. Oh, I don't know anything about these letters. They came from a different department that work on our behalf. And I said, well, look, I was wondering, I was thinking it might have been some kind of cancer discussion. And he was like, no, we're just going to do the ultrasound treatment for you. And we haven't got you an appointment yet, but we just wanted to make sure you still want to go ahead with it. I'm like, yes, doctor. If you think that's going to fix the issues with the 2 kidney stones is by having this appointment, then yes, I want to go ahead with it. So I cannot tell you, I got home last night and I just lay in my bed for a couple of hours pondering feelings of stress that I'd built up in my own head, just worrying about what's happening with me. Because I just get the feeling that having made all of these grand plans to get out of here, it's going to get derailed at the last minute by something like this. And I just pray that that isn't the case. So I just thought I would share. I feel like the NHS are kind of, they're trying their best to help me, but they're also driving me bonkers at times. So second story, Vinted and eBay sales. The sales on the t-shirts have kind of stalled. I actually paid for a store online. It was £9.99 to promote all of the t-shirts, and I've sold 1 in that time. So it's been a bit of a dull market for me to continue. But I have had some success on eBay selling other items. We had a thing at home called an 8-sleep. It's a mattress that has like a PC tower at the side of your bed. I bought it a couple of years ago. I'm a terrible sleeper. I need the perfect temperature, and Yvonne likes it hot and I like it cold. So this thing actually temperature cools your bed. And it was great, but I can't take it with us when we go, so I wanted to sell it. I've listed it on eBay and I've sold it 3 times. The first time, the guy that bought it woke up in the morning and his wife told him, get that refunded, you're not buying that. So he cancelled. I sold it a week and a half ago to another guy, and then the next morning he checked and realised that his bed was a slightly bizarre shape and it wouldn't fit. And then I've sold it a couple of days ago and I've paid to ship it up to Livingston to a guy called Colin. And it's arrived yesterday and it was 2 boxes and only one of the boxes has arrived. DPD delivery service. The second box has gone missing. DPD say they're looking for it. So the guy messaged me yesterday like, hey, what the hell? This thing is not cheap. And if you've followed videos before, you'll know I'm not having a good time with delivery services. I keep making these videos about I think things are broken in the UK, and life just keeps throwing me more examples of why it's broken. I'm hoping, I'm praying the second part is going to show up today and this guy is going to be able to install this in his bed and be happy and I can pocket the money. I made a video about the HMRC a couple of days ago and people were asking me about self-assessments. I had a letter from eBay, an email to tell me that I'll now need to submit tax details because I've sold more than £1,000 on the platform, which now requires a self-assessment for 1k. You know, we look around this country and you think about organisations that aren't paying tax or tax avoidance, and I sell £1,000 worth of my own stuff that I've bought from my house, and I've got to do a self-assessment off the back of it. I'm going to have to move here because this guy's going to want out this gate here. It's actually a boat here, and this gate over here. This gentleman here is undoing the gate, which will raise the boat. This is kind of cool, right? And his lovely wife looks like she's down that end, keeping an eye on the boat. So they've closed the gate there, water comes through, it will lift the canal boat up, and then off will go. That's a nice little separate story. Ah, lovely. Very nice, all the way till September. That's a really nice, long, slow holiday for you. Nice. Lovely. All right, great looking boat. Yours? Is it yours? Yeah. Lovely, beautiful. Very nice. All right, thank you. See you later. There's a little dog on the back of the boat there. A little like terrier or something. Very cool. This is what it's really like on YouTube. I'll actually just spin this round. Look at that. So that's the boat lifting the little dog. Well, hopefully you can see that. It looks great. Look. There you go. You can see the wee doggy at the back there. That's what happens when you come and hang out at the canals trying to make videos. Real life just carries on. This husband and wife are on a slow holiday all the way to September, travelling down to London on Grand Union Canal. Lovely boat. She tells me it's theirs. What a great holiday that is, eh? On a boat, just slow travelling from the Midlands down to London in a beautiful canal boat. Right, so sorry, jumping around a little bit there. So I told you about the NHS. I've told you about Vinted. The sales are going a little bit slow, but however on eBay I've had a bit more success, and hopefully if that DPD package shows up today, that'll be another thing off my mind. But God, isn't it frustrating? You're just trying to sell your own items that I have earned money on, paid tax for, bought the product, paid tax for, and now that I want to sell it, I've got to justify that I haven't made a profit on it. And I'm telling you, on these items, they're second-hand items from my house. It's not limited edition artwork. It's a bed mattress. It's a bed mattress topper, to be exact. Oh, this country. Right, last but not least, Yvonne's sabbatical. So at the beginning of the year, Yvonne approached her company that she works for, about 3,000 employees, said, I'd like to take a sabbatical. She's been in the company for 10 years. Want to take a year out and go travelling. My husband's been through a lot, I've been through a lot, and we would like to take this break. Her manager immediately says, okay, I don't see a problem with this. He checks with his manager. Yep, no problem. So we then decide to start the official process. She started that in March, went to the company and said, right, here's all the documentation, here's everything done. And again, Yvonne's boss said, no problem, I approve this. But for some reason, the final decision sits with HR. So the company has a formal process in place to manage sabbatical applications. She's applied for 12 months. The sign-off process is 2 weeks. She applied mid-March. Mid-March. Now, as I mentioned to you in a previous video, she was then told that the person in HR was on holiday and couldn't do anything until he came back. He then went on an unapproved holiday or some kind of extended break, which meant that he didn't come back when everybody was expecting, so Yvonne was left kind of sitting. The March date, 2-week SLA, should have been the very beginning of April. She then received the confirmation towards the very start of May. I think around the 2nd or 3rd of May, she received confirmation from her boss. We haven't done the paperwork yet. We're going to, but take it as an approval. Well, it's now, what's today's date? Let me quickly check. Today's the 15th of May and nothing has happened. Our boss hasn't came back to her. HR haven't came back to her. Nobody has officially signed it off. So we were given the go-ahead. Yep, everything's fine. We haven't booked anything yet because we're still stuck in this kind of slight limbo feeling. And I just wonder, like, are all companies this disorganised? Like, I've just left a business that felt so much of a shambles at the end. And then I look at Yvonne's company, I'm like, it's no better. It is absolutely no better. It's so frustrating. She's emailed the HR person who is responsible for creating this paperwork, and he has responded zero, none. Not an acknowledgement, not a response, nada. Hee-haw, diddly squat, jack shit. What? This is somebody from, I'm getting angry, you can tell, right? This is somebody from HR. You know, human resources, people first. Yvonne is a person, she's made a request that we started at the beginning of the year, and it's now mid-May, and we cannot get a decision. How hard is it? If you work in HR, I implore you, please just put people first for a change. Do your job. This is why people get so, I'm going to use a good Scottish word here, but scunnered frustrated, put off by trying to interact with these departments because it's just sends you round and round and round. So the NHS is driving me up the wall. There's the letters. The vintage sales slowed a little bit, but I'm kind of giving it a gentle invigoration to keep it moving along. And we're still sitting waiting for Yvonne's company to give her a written confirmation that the sabbatical is approved and we can go book flights, because I'm telling you what's going to happen. Our boss has said it's all done, it's all approved. She'll go off, we'll leave in August, and they'll carry on paying her, won't they? We'll carry on paying her, and then she'll need to go through a whole rigmarole or try to pay money back because somebody in the system will not have said she's out for a year. We'll take that battle when it comes along. Right, that's the quick update for you. Thank you so much to everybody for the messages in the last couple of days. I can't tell you how much that filled my soul, sharing some of my trials and tribulations with you over the last years of me being alive. It was very good to share that. I highly recommend that kind of cathartic exploration of your dark elements of your life, whether it's just telling friends or posting a comment on a video like this or seeking out help if you need it. And again, thanks to everybody that recommended the various call lines for grief counselling, etc. I'm looking into that, so I appreciate it as well. Thanks everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with another video. And in the meantime, have a great day. Look how great it is. Have a great day.